there is profit to be made in the blue collar world. And you guys know that. If you are in the blue collar world, people are lazy. They don't want to do the labor anymore. And so if you are making a nice amount of money and a nice income, that is going either in savings, into IRAs, we're spending it in cash, and we're driving around really nice vehicles and really nice Harleys and really nice boats. And we have a lot of fun toys. Or maybe we're buying rental properties with cash, or maybe we're buying other businesses with cash. Can we run that through a policy first and utilize that money correctly so we have uninterrupted compound interest and dividends? Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. This is exciting. We're at number 500. I mean, if I'm off by one, I don't know, whatever. They told me, my awesome podcast people, my podcast editors told me I am at 500. I would have never known because you know what? I just record and I just keep putting out information for you. Hopefully it's helpful. So exciting. Obviously, that is between both podcasts because I've got two. So today, let's talk about infinite banking for entrepreneurs and business owners. And as you know, I've got my Farming Without the Bank podcast, and that's for farmers who are also entrepreneurs and business owners. They just don't think that they are. And then this side of it is really for blue collar. We're going to be adding some real estate stuff later with my colleague Teresa. So that is super exciting. So if you are somebody that really likes real estate, keep tuning in. We're going to be adding her. All right. The thing that I want to talk about today is most entrepreneurs or business owners do not think about how the infinite banking concept can be tied into their business. And it really goes hand in hand. If you have a business, if you have a partnership, you should be using infinite banking. And so let's just start with you are as a sole proprietor and you're like, Mary Jo, I don't have to buy anybody out. I'm not a partnership. It doesn't matter. We're good. Okay. At some point, you either have a line of credit for that business or you are using all cash. So let's just pretend that you are a plumber, an electrician. You're doing something where you have to have some amount of product on hand, but you don't need a whole ton, right? You don't need a whole warehouse. So if that is the case and you have vehicles and you probably have or you should have an assistant, most of you don't, but you should have an assistant. And what are you using to buy all those products? You're getting paid for your time mostly. And we just use cash. If we're a plumber and we got to have toilets on hand, we use cash for that. We got to have piping on hand, we use cash for that, right? Soldering stuff, we got cash for that. And we're not actually ever putting anything through the policy. So now we have nothing. Cash is gone. We have lost opportunity on that money. We do not have any extra death benefit because most of you will probably say, well, I don't have any death benefit for my family. I don't have any disability insurance. I don't have anything. So if I get hurt, I'm kind of screwed, right? We're out of income. But we're not building anything. And so if we could run some of that cash through a policy, now we've got compound interest and dividends, and we've provided a death benefit for your family if something happens to you. It's crazy that we all want to be entrepreneurs and we all have these businesses, and we know if something happens to us, we don't have income for our family. If you are in some sort of blue collar business and you're making a really nice income and you are the sole provider and your wife is at home taking care of the kids or vice versa, guess what? Who's going to pay the bill, my friends? And I see this really on social media a lot, that we don't have a backup plan for this. You need to have something, and the cash is going out. Or it is getting spent immediately on vacations, vehicles, whatever that might be. Snowmobiles, toys, ATVs, because we're making a decent amount of money. Hey, let's go buy that Harley with cash. With cash? We're going to buy the Harley with cash? How we're going to buy the new vehicle with cash? Are we paying ourselves back for that? We have lost compound interest and dividends on that the rest of our life. We've lost the death benefit. If we can move the cash into the policy, borrow against it, pay it back, we also what? If we keep borrowing and paying back, we just created a retirement system as well, which most of you don't have anything for retirement. Why not create a pool of money that we can borrow from to supplement retirement? It just makes sense, right? Instead, we're doing it the hard way. We're using cash. Maybe we have money in an IRA. Maybe we have money in a 401k. And if we're sole proprietors, it's probably an IRA. Well, let me bring this to your attention. If we have money in an IRA, if we're entrepreneurs, that means we're not going to just see one opportunity. We're going to see multiple opportunities. And when that opportunity arises, we're going to need access to cash. But we don't have access to cash because it's in an IRA. And so we're going to give up that access. So I absolutely love my plumber. Like, I hope nothing ever, I want to buy insurance on my plumber. Okay. Because we have rental properties and he is amazing. And he's in his 60s and he doesn't have anybody to take over his business, or he's late 50s, doesn't have anybody to take over his business. I love the guy to death. It's hard work, right? And he doesn't necessarily have a plan for retirement. And so that's a hard job. What are you going to do that forever? If we would have started a policy in our 20s and built that up, maybe he could retire at 60, 65, whatever. I didn't realize how labor intensive plumbing was, but they redid our whole house and it was not a huge deal because we had to rip ceilings out and we had to rip walls out, and like there was no drywall to go around. It was like plumbing a new house. But he's also done some remodels for us. And that's a pain in the behind. You got walls to try to figure out. You got to drill holes here. You got to drill holes there. Like it's really kind of crappy. It's kind of like electricians. They're crawling up into places. And so this is why people don't want to do anything but new construction, right? It's easier. It's way easier. And if you're young, yeah, you can go do all the remodel stuff. But as you get older, you probably don't want the remodel stuff. You probably want the new stuff. But because he's done both for us and he loves us and we love him, he just continues to service us. But I know, like, I don't want him to have to work any longer than he wants to. But what does he have set up? An IRA? He doesn't have other opportunities because where's this money? So we have to look at that as entrepreneurs. Man, everywhere I look, there's opportunity. Everywhere. It is, I need more money so I could take advantage of all the opportunities is what goes through my head, because holy cow, it's opportunity central out there. And then we have to look at, what if we do have a partner? What if we have a business with a partnership? Why are we ever creating a partnership without having insurance on the other partners? Right? You should have insurance on your partner and your partner should have insurance on you. And if there's 3 partners, everybody should be insured. It should be mandatory. You know how health insurance is mandatory, which is stupid. This should be, when you get your partnership, it should be mandatory that everybody has to take life insurance on one another. Because if one of those partners dies, do you have to buy out their wife? Do you have to buy out their heirs? What is happening in that partnership? Nobody even talks about it. They have a partnership and they think it's all great and fantastic and everybody's getting along and we just started and it's all going good until somebody dies or somebody hates one another and somebody has to buy somebody out. Why are we not buying life insurance on one another instantly? And then if somebody passes away, we have the death benefit to buy out the other person. Then if we retire or whatever that looks like, right? We have the income there. We get to take our policy with us. So now we've provided death benefit for our family. We can use that policy for retirement, or we don't have to use it. Because if I'm in business with you, I'm going to have a policy on you. And when I retire and you're still living, I'm still going to have that policy till the day you die. And if you don't die first, then and I die, I'm going to leave that policy to my heirs, and they're going to have a policy on you when you die. And then they're going to collect. Okay? You can also use this as an exit strategy to the business. So there are times, which I don't necessarily recommend, a LLC owning the policy, and I've talked about that in the past, why. But let's just say that you guys own policies on one another. You have business partners and you own policies on one another. And then we want to leave the business. So if we leave the business, we can change ownership of those policies back to the insured. So again, you and I are in business and I retire and we sell the business and we still like each other. Okay? It happens. We still like each other. We sell the business. One of the exit strategies is, hey, you are going to give me my policy and I am going to give you your policy. So now we are in control of our own insured policies and we can leave that to our heirs. You could have the LLC own the policy, and then the exit strategy or the buyout strategy is that you could either take your policy with you or they could buy the policy from you. So there's just a lot of different ways to use the policy inside of that scenario as well. You know, if you have a policy on yourself and the company owns it, they could give that to you for your retirement and that would be part of your buyout or whatever that might be. So lots of different strategies, but it's absolutely crazy to me how many entrepreneurs, how many blue collar business owners I see that don't have any type of insurance. The banks aren't requiring it. You guys are using so much cash because if you are running your business correctly, you should be making money. I mean, there is profit to be made in the blue collar world. And you guys know that. If you are in the blue collar world, people are lazy. They don't want to do the labor anymore. And so if you are making a nice amount of money and a nice income, that is going either in savings, into IRAs, we're spending it in cash, and we're driving around really nice vehicles and really nice Harleys and really nice boats. And we have a lot of fun toys. Or maybe we're buying rental properties with cash, or maybe we're buying other businesses with cash. Can we run that through a policy first and utilize that money correctly so we have uninterrupted compound interest and dividends? It would be awesome, my friends. It would be absolutely awesome. So remember, if you are an entrepreneur or business owner or in a partnership, how can this help you? And the Life Without the Bank book is going to go over all of that. That was written for blue collar people. Not a lot of blue collar people are reading it, but that is who it was written for. Because let me tell you, I was super frustrated when I started this business and I had no idea prior to this, right? And now I run into all of you who are making money and spending it in cash, going on vacation, whatever. Leave your family with enough death benefit. And make sure your wife has some too, even though she's a stay-at-home mom, she's working her buns off and taking care of everything at home so that you can go work and you guys are working really long hours. So let me know if you have comments, questions, concerns on this. Otherwise, go get your Life Without the Bank book. Get online, schedule an appointment with myself or John right now. Those are the two of us that you can schedule appointments with. And we are happy to help you. And I am always super excited to hear about what kind of business you have, because I love ideas. I love to hear what everybody's doing. So let me know, MaryJo at withoutthebank.com, or go to withoutthebank.com, grab your book, get your stuff, schedule your appointment, and then I'll talk to you then. Have a fantastic rest of your day.